Hello friends. I am always influenced by many people of the past as well many of the present. And this is the beautiful thing about history, because we can look to the back without in any way being dependent on that, but able to derive many lessons from lives, from activities, from specific deeds, from so many individuals that came to mold culture and to affect society. And today, for these very brief minutes, I chose for you a figure from Europe, from France more specifically, namely Blaise Pascal. And I'm sure that the majority, if not all of you who view me here, have heard about him and know in some ways about his contribution. He was born in the 1600s in his native France, where he spent his entire life. And yet, even from childhood, he was a very sickly boy, then a sickly young man, and died in midlife as a very sick individual, physically speaking. But that did not prevent his mind from functioning at all times, from new ideas, from developing, and concrete activities in which he applied those ideas were also significant. Pascal is considered perhaps as the father of the calculator, which eventually developed in a more sophisticated fashion in the computer. He was a scientist that has many more inventions for which I don't have time to share with you. One thing that possibly most people don't realize about him was what he developed, which up to this very day continues to be a source of blessing in every city in the world, at least most of the major cities around the globe. It is said that at one time, at the conclusion of the afternoon, he was standing on his crutches at the corner of a very busy street in Paris, and he was amazed to see people going in every possible direction on foot. Then the thought came to his mind, why people traveling in the same direction don't go together? And as he further developed that thought, he came up with the idea of the bus or the omnibus, which, as I mentioned, every major city around the world still utilizes. But his impact continues to be great, mostly because of what he was able to leave in writing. And as many of you know, perhaps his most best-known work is known as the pensée, which means thoughts. He had the habit of writing ideas on pieces of paper, which came to be found only after his young death, in which he had outlined perhaps thoughts to be incorporated into books that he was yet to write. And that continues to be a source of great profit and benefit to countless people in many, many languages, at least in the major languages of the world. I have with me a Penguin Classic, an American edition, a British edition as well, and I want to quote only one of many of these thoughts. He says, "If man was not made for God, why is he only happy in God?" And he adds to that, "If man was made for God, why is he so opposed to God?" Something worth pondering. And you can find yourself in either camp, and it is important that you answer that question yourself. Of course, one of the most familiar sayings contained in this volume is, "Love has its reasons, which reason knows nothing of." Love is a quality that is used for which there is no explanation whatsoever. and yet it doesn't cease to be real. So think about these things, and on your own, do some research about his life and his legacy, which continues to be very significant. Thank you for watching, and until the next time. Bye-bye.